Hey guys, so it's midnight. This will most likely be out by midnight, and this is our last stocks by request update for the day. And this is a follow on to some of the stocks that we talked about over the course of the past few days. And we're just going to give you an update on how it moved today because there was a lot of not just volatility, but I've seen them get, I think, better amounts of volume and liquidity today compared to the previous days. And I said this in the video before this that now, if there was a 5 billion value turnover for the market as a whole today, now had around 1.1, which comprised around 20% of the total value turnover for the day. And as you all know, we're going to just analyze this from a technical analysis point of view. What I love about technicals is you see it also from the charts. You see it from a level of support and resistance that everything you need to know in terms of how you can analyze it can be spotted in the charts, that you do not have to rely on hope, you do not have to rely on speculation, you don't have to forecast, you don't have to ask your friend. But here's the thing, please remember, as we start analyzing, these are not stock tips or stock picks, but this is me basically analyzing it the way I see it. And I do hope that while this is happening, you're also analyzing it from your end and you have your pens and papers ready. But ultimately, I hope that this sets a foundation that it allows you to trade on your own, to learn on your own, because at the end of the day, trading the markets is all about having the conviction that you know what you're getting into. So never ever buy a stock just because you hear it from someone on YouTube, in the internet, tell you to buy something or tell you to sell something or tell you to avoid something. You have to use your own due diligence and you have to deploy skill. And my suggestion, if you're not comfortable yet investing, you're not comfortable yet with how you make your trades, then better not to make the trade at all. Better coming in na buo yung loob nyo when you start investing. So let's start it off first with, if we're gonna talk about now, Dito and ICT and also CHP, I want to start everything off with CHP. So this is how CHP looked like even from our video yesterday. What changed was the last candlestick where there was a large amount of volatility. So CHP yesterday closed at 1.65. Today, it opened at 1.65. So the closing yesterday was the opening today, which kind of places it still above our breakout point. The breakout point here is around here, 1.61. And then you see it intraday, the stock hit a high of 1.73. And if you see this, allow me to zoom out well so you see it properly also. The, the, the intraday candlestick movement, the highs, allowed it to hit the 1.745 resistance. And as you all know, when a stock is close to the resistance, there's heavy and massive amounts of selling. And as there's heavy and massive amounts of selling, more sellers bring the prices down. So this particular resistance at the 1745 level confirmed and reiterated itself as a legit resistance, as shown and characterized by what we're seeing today. The resistance at 1.745 brought selling, and as selling started to happen, you saw the stock start to push down, and as it started to push down, went lower than the opening price, went lower than the 1.615. Should have been support level, but it also got broken, and now it closed at the 1.542 level. Now, what does that mean to all of us? It means this. Number one, it solidifies this resistance here, 1.745. Number two, it broke down from this new support level. It should have been a support level 2 days already above it, but it broke below. So now, should selling continue, next landing spot would be at the support that I drew right here at the 1.5 level. It's pretty much close also to the 20-day moving average, which in this area, and if you'll also plot it here, if you'd like to plot it, you could also put a semi level support here at the 1.42 level. So if that does not hold over the next few days, possible progression will bring it here. And if I'll try to clean this up, you will see here that this entire area here, showing you that CHP over the short term is moving sideways. Highest point resistance 1.745, support is around the 1.42 level. So that's where we are right now for CHP. Now let's talk about ICT. For ICT naman, this is how it looks like. What's so interesting about it is, if you'll allow me to zoom out, you'll see this. And we've seen this common characteristic in some of the stocks that have started to push this one and then this. As you can see, and for those who attended their Stock Smart sessions, and for those who uh, know about chart patterns, this looks like an ascending triangle. And what's so interesting about this is you have this support level here, and you have this support level here, and you have this resistance level here, and you have this breakout point here. Because of this, and this formed, this was a previous support that turned into a new resistance, and because of that, boom, 110 level range, 110 level area, we saw it break out. So, couple of things. Number one, it already formed this upward slope. While it was forming that upward slope from a chart pattern methodology, it looks pretty much like an ascending triangle. Number three, it broke out from the 111 resistance. Number four, if you use this 200-day moving average as some sort of a parameter to check if it's more bullish, it's also above it, showing you that there's a more bullish bias to the stock. Then you add this, another resistance, then another resistance. So here's the thing. Should the breakout from the 111 level prove itself to be legit, next target price, next area on where ICT could possibly go is basically here. 120. Breakout from 120 will bring it to the 129 level. Make sure, guys, that if the 111 support does not hold, make sure to have your areas where you could get out of the stock and also sell. So please remember, breakout from this level, this range is giving you around 8%. Then if you adjust it here, it's around 16, 17% also. But just to note that from its closing today, the upside to it already is just around 2.9%. So just to summarize, the way I see ICT is it broke out from an ascending triangle. It's above the 200-day moving average. It broke out from the 111 resistance. Then this upward slope is denoting a more bullish direction on where it is. Then the target, next resistances are 120 and 129.97, around the 130 level. So if the 130 level also gets broken out from, possible area to go is the 141 resistance level. So that's where we are right now for ICT. Now let's go back to what we've been analyzing the past few days. We've been talking about telco companies, and now I want to double down talking on Now and Dito. Uh, let's start with Now. For now, for now, this is how it is. So we I think a couple of days ago we placed scenarios that after the green candle, it will either go close as it can to the resistance, or it will go back and retrace to the support. That being said, we're gonna push this further here because it's heading closer and closer and closer to the resistance. The resistance is at the 3.7 level as of now. So expect, no, the closer we are here, since this is our resistance area, there could be a level of selling. And if there's one thing to note here, the intraday movement of Now opened at 3.31, closed at 3.45, but hit a high of 3.56. So again, guys, the closer we are at this particular area, the closer we are at this level, specifically denotes that we are very, very close to a specific resistance level. And as you all know, the closer we are to the resistance, the closer selling will happen. It's an area where people have identified it as either expensive or people don't want to buy it. And it's shown also, similar to what we're seeing here, that selling also has happened. So again, over the past few days after the breakout of Now, it's still pretty clear, no, that nothing much has changed here. Meaning, since nothing much has changed, our support still at the 2.5 level. The 20-day moving average is still far from this also, and our resistance is pegged at the 3.7 level. So that's where we are right now. For Now, we've talked about ICT, CHP now, and let's talk about Dito. Dito, again, as what I've mentioned at the start of the video, uh, large chunk of the volume came from it. And looking at it from an intraday standpoint, no, Dito opened at 4.9, which, if you remember the video yesterday, I mentioned that as close as we are to the 4.9 level, there's a resistance at the 5 peso level. And please take note of this. Over here, the next resistance is the 5.59 or 5.6 level. I just want you to remember that resistance is 5.04, then the next resistance is 5.59 or 5.6. So if you notice it here, stock opened at 4.9, which is close to the resistance. Then intraday broke past the resistance. As it started to break past the resistance, intraday also, it went to as high as 5.95. So let's look at the let's look at the previous chart that we've seen. 5.59 broke past that. The next possible resistance after that is here at the 6 peso level. So what it did in one day is break past the 5 peso resistance, break past the 5.59, but it stopped here once it started to hit the resistance at the 6 peso level. So please take note of this. It hit a high at 6, which is where our resistance is from the chart that I showed you a while ago. Then it started to retrace lower, which as it started to retrace lower, please remember, after 6, you have 5.59 as your next level of support. However, 5.59 is also somewhere here. So meaning, if you're looking at it from that perspective, 5.59, there, it also went lower than that. So, and it settled and closed here. So if there's one thing that's evident right now is, number one, a couple of things. If you look at dito, the 5.04, at the 5.04 level, it's a chart, and 5.04. There you go. Okay. So a couple of things happened. Number one, this. It failed to break out from the resistance at 5.95. Number two, this also did not hold. But for today, it broke past this particular level that if you notice it from the past 3 days that it tried to hit this, closed here but did not break out. Second day, opened here, closed here but did not break out. Third day, boom, it broke out. So a couple of things that I would like you to know is current support for dito is 5.05. Next resistance is 5.6. Next resistance is 5.95. I have to zoom it out so you see it better. So please just write this down. 5.05 support, current support. If that holds, next resistance is 5.6. If that holds, next resistance is 5.95. If 5.05 does not hold, so the current support there will be at this level, 4.14. So I repeat, if the 5.05 level does not hold, next support is 4.14. If the 5.05 level does hold, resistances is 5.6 and 5.95. So there. So I hope you were able to see it, no? As I started to plot it for you. So I'll zoom it na lang again para you see it better. I wasn't able to fix my charts there. So I hope you guys got a lot from this. Please remember again, these are not stock picks, tips. This is just me analyzing it with the hopes that you learn the rudiments of technical analysis while I'm illustrating it and showing it to all of you. Because at the end of the day, the strength of all of this is if you can do it at home, do it and learn the proper rudiments of it, and then apply and practice, then start trading on your own. So there. I hope you guys got a lot from this, and I hope that this is something that's helpful for all of you. In the links below, we have our playlists for technical and fundamental videos. They're all in YouTube. They're in my first channel at Marvin Germo. And I guess that's it. I hope you guys learned a lot, and I hope that this is something that's helping you. And trade well, trade strong, trade smart. Marvin Germo. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.